Two, one.
Welcome, beautiful humans of this Earth, the Milky Way universe / I don't even know what I'm talking about. Welcome to Monday / Tuesday to the Amigos and Co channel. We love that you're here with us, and yeah, welcome. Hi, Steve. Hi, Chris.
Hello, hi, everybody.
So I just want to know, like, is anyone else lactose intolerant and afraid to live in the Milky Way galaxy? Because that's where I'm at right now. I just found out.
That is way more existential than I ever expected.
That's either the dumbest thing I've ever heard or incredibly deep, but I cannot tell how big that divide is in the middle.
I gotta put it over a picture of nature so people know it's deep, you know. Anyways, there we go.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
So is a Tums a planet or a Tums an asteroid?
Oh. Well, it helps your asteroid.
Perfect.
Dad jokes. I apologize for that dad joke. I said about 12 dad jokes before we even came live. So yeah, we're continuing with the situation.
Trying to get them out of your system, but all it did was amp you up and get you rolling.
Yep. On a
like
roll.
A boulder.
Dad level 5,000. We'd like to start the show with a little vaping stuff. Steve, would you like to tell us what you're vaping on concurrently?
I can do that. I can definitely do that. Very, very simple today. Each show, it seems to be less and less things. Maybe it's because we're getting into Chinese New Year, but yeah, today I am vaping on the PX80, the Swag PX80 from Vaporesso. Nice, tiny little handy device. I've been rocking this since it came in. But yeah, the wild cherry and lemon and blueberry still going. I'm about halfway through this bottle. Killer vape. Really, really nice stuff. And surprised me because it's got that cooling in there, which I normally steer away from, but this is really, really nice. In fact, it was really, really sweet. Went swimming yesterday. Did a little bit of floating, did a little bit of laps. Realized I'm nowhere near as in good shape as I used to be because I got halfway down to the deep end. I was like, oh, fuck.
I'm drowning.
I can't go any further, and now I'm going to drown. So, yeah, it was nice to have this to come out to afterwards. On a side note from that, I thought, every now and then you go out, you go swimming, you drive around, you do shopping, you need something small, something lightweight, something that will fit in your pocket. So I picked something that I already had, and I grabbed a little bit of an extension that came from Geelong Vape. They were really, really nice to send it out really fast. So with portability and lightweightness in mind, I pulled out the Ragnar with the 35 mil extension because, when you're out and about, you just never need to fill. You never want to fill. This is literally almost an entire bottle of juice in there, and it is pink lemonade. Because if you're going to fill something up with this much liquid, better be something you damn well like.
Full send.
That device and tank looks like you're carrying the secret cure for a disease you're about to unleash and the Avengers are chasing you.
Yeah. Whatever he said. Literally, that's all I'm vaping on. But, with something that big, what else do you need? I mean, it's literally a bottle of juice with a coil in it.
Yeah, that is a lot of liquid. So,
it is.
Yeah. It's a fairly clean liquid, though, right?
Yeah, the Advocacy pink is quite nice. It's quite I mean, you can see the color here. It's a little bit amberish.
Dennis Michael says, Steve, that looks like a bong.
It kind of feels like vaping a bong too, but it works for me. No complaints.
Yep.
Yeah, I haven't used the Ragnar since a couple of months after I did the review, and I always liked it. It's big, it's beefy, it's one of my favorite RTAs, and I was re-upping on batteries the other day, and I saw the extension glass there. I was like, yeah, 35 mils plus the base. No, could go for that. I'm thinking of getting another extension for the top, and just because I can only fit about half of this bottle in here. I want to actually put the whole thing in.
Oh dear.
I would really be happy if you could get bottles and just screw them to the top of a mod, pop a drip tip in the top, and just go. That would be my ultimate.
Yes. Would that be classed as an all-in-one or a pod?
I think we'd call that a disposable, and we'd get yelled at for the amount of waste.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could you imagine that? You just click the top and then open a vacuum seal, and you just shove it straight into the top of your.
I think that would be awesome. I think really. I do have to mention just before I let this go. These are the only two things I'm vaping, by the way. But I did pop a pair of coils in here. I'm just checking my specs. We got Tricore Aliens, 32736 War Buddha, Nichrome 80, 3 mil, 5 wrap Breeze Tones in there. Shit. We also got a little bit of this stuff, just to keep it nice and moist and juicy. And that setup, holy triumvirate, right there. That is literally that is your killer vape right there. That's all you need. We used to rave about your coils, then we got used to you, then we started making fun of you. But I got to get back to that. I've been vaping on sub-ohms for the last little while just because what comes through, what I'm reviewing, all that stuff, laziness. It has been nice to actually just pull out some beautiful coils, slap them in there. They glow up real fast. They glow up perfectly. And I've had, I was worried. I was like, I'm going to put that much juice in there. Is it going to, what if it leaks everywhere? But no, this has just been beautiful. Beautiful vape. Nice to get back to good coils, too. Adjust my airflow.
Nice.
That's it. Adam, what's in your mouth today?
Well, many things. I am also running a simple setup today. Billet box. Billet box with a little Zeta action in there. Still banging on this. Real nice. This is the Bulle Bolu from Mr. Beecher Coil Turd in here. Banging it. But I also have simple setup. The Denali 20X700 from
Nice.
Snowcap Mods with a Nightmare 25 and a little Nub Tip from DHD. In there is some Syntax from Prohibition, but I also have another Denali. I'm calling this one actually the Fancy Donkey. I did call the Type 2 and the black and white DBV3. This is now the Fancy Donkey. The actual proper Fancy Donkey is just another one with also a Nightmare 25 on there. But that has the popcorn cheesecake from Frank and Atticus.
Nice. How'd you like that popcorn?
Oh, it's banging. It's like when another one of those e-liquids. We talk about this a lot when you see the profile and you're like, and as soon as people say popcorn in vaping, that's not a word that we should call it something else. Call it kettle corn or something. I don't know. But yeah, that's really very, very good. It's the butter component in that that recipe that gels it. The creamy butter in your face hole is very, very good. Yeah.
I was exactly the same. I was nervous, tentative. Had like 5 bottles of Frank and Atticus, and that one, I don't know. What would I rather do? Lick Chris Vandal's ass or vape popcorn? I can't tell. And when it came down to it, I'd rather vape popcorn. So I went for it, and yeah, damn, it's nice. It's actually really, really good.
I gotta be honest, how is, obviously you're saying it's good, but, the popcorn taste, that just sounds so weird to me in a vape flavor. So, it melds well with, what's the flavor profile?
It's popcorn cheesecake. Hang on.
Popcorn and cheesecake. So is it buttery popcorn, I'm guessing, not salty popcorn?
It's quite mild.
Yeah.
A lot of people, I've tried a few popcorns, and usually they go way too punchy on the popcorn, and it just doesn't last for an all-day vape. But yeah, Frankie Nykus, they always bring it back down to the right level. Like you can vape it all day long.
Yeah.
And yeah, not too punchy, really, really nice. And it's more of the popcorn, what's the word?
Like the savoriness.
The white part of the popcorn.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to call that.
Yeah. The popcorn.
Yeah, and the butter nature of it, it is most definitely goes really, really well.
Okay,
yeah.
That's cool.
But it's what I was going to say is it's one of those profiles. If you did the knuckle test, it vapes very differently than what's on the knuckle. It's delicious on the knuckle, but when it's I guess retro nasal, it's very, very tasty.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now I was just curious because that sounds weird to me, but I think they had a missed opportunity calling it puff corn. So like, yeah, there you go. You can sell it to them. You know, you talk to those guys sometimes, right, Adam? There you go. But I'll just do my setup. Today I've got this blows the blue raz and bubblegum from Mitch Hoget's and my topside dual, and then I got my 2 caliber and 2 pods. But Anarchist black cheesecake fruity pebbles mix, and then flavor that's actually grown on me. It was the melon punch from Homeboy. At first, I'm not gonna lie to you, I did not like it like that much. Most melons to me have like a peppery aftertaste. And it reminds me of being like 16 years old and thinking of having a hookah was cool, you know. And it just usually melon does that to me, so it did that at first. But then like when I let it sit, and I get it's a pod, so it doesn't need to like you know, it's not like a sitting juice, you know. But anyways, it sat in the coil for like a day, and I finally got the I got like a fill through it, you know, on the pod. And like after like 2 fills, the fruit flavor actually like the less melony flavor takes over. Excuse me, and you get more of the punch flavor. So I'm enjoying that, but yeah, that's all I've got. And you guys know I don't usually do too much, but yeah. I do want to shout out real quick in the chat. I saw a funny one from Great Wombatsky. He says, "Does the popcorn taste like fried lung and onions?"
It does. Ammonia lung, indeed. Yes. I'm going to take this opportunity. I was having a little bit of a think before we came online, and Mr. Janklin, Frames Janklin, was talking about the community, and I'm blown away the reality of the scope of how far and wide vaping happens and the community, and whether you're into posting stuff on social media, or you're here in chat, or you're just a consumer of the products. And I was thinking about, you know, people all over the world watching videos, watching content, you know, being involved. I made started making a list of people, you know, like I was going to do a big shout out thing, but it's out of control. And I want to extend the energy and the love to everyone, because I'm not sure of any part in the 3 lives that I've lived. The social network has been so big, you know, like if you actually stop and think about it for a second, it's out of control. We have people in time zones all over the world communicating, supporting, being generous. You know, like it's out of control, and my mind grapes were exploding. So you know, this is a shout out to everyone. You're all amazing, and yeah, that's all I really have to say about that. It was a bit of an epiphany moment.
Nah, man, I hear you. You start making that list, and all of a sudden you get panicky. It's like, well, how many names have I forgotten that deserve to be here? There are so many people. Some will reach out and touch you every day. Some it's every now and then, but they're just contact. And it, like you said, it's global. It's all around the world. It's all sorts of time zones, and it's people of all walks of life. It's suit and ties. It's trucker hats and boots. It's every level. It's people in the vape industry. It's just users. Like, you know, we're literally. I mean, I will say this: I'm just a guy with a camera. I'm just a user. I'm not really in the industry. I just pretend I am. Yeah, it's amazing how many people reach out and contact, and that we interact with, and they're all so friendly and caring and giving. It's amazing, absolutely amazing.
Yeah, like especially like in our chats alone on here, like on Mondays, I get the time zones are different, but we got Big G from fucking Ireland, Northern Ireland, hanging out with us. We got all you guys from Australia, you know, hanging out with us. We got people in the UK that watch us, like Robert Darkings, I believe he's out there. We got people in the US, and it's crazy that we are able to be a part of a network of people that, like, you know, there's a reason why you're here talking to us on the chats and hanging out with us, because you're all like genuinely interested in sharing what you know or learning something else, and you guys need to come here and share it with everyone. I've seen connections made in the chats where you guys hang out with each other on each other's streams or anything like that. And it's awesome to see, because you don't see that anywhere else.
Yeah.
If I could take just one moment, like I said, if you make a list, you always feel like you're missing someone out, and there is someone that I think right now deserves a little extra special attention. Someone that's been around for a long time. We've all seen the name in chat. We've seen them in different groups. We've seen them on Discords and on Facebook, and they're just a vital part, a very friendly, caring, giving part of our community, who is currently having a real rough time because his wife is currently in the hospital, having issues with COVID, and that would be Scott Jangles. He's probably not here today because if my wife was in the hospital, I wouldn't be watching streams either. But he's going through it really rough right now because she's going through it rough. So my biggest love and affection to him. We've not really had a lot of contact, but I just know he's a great guy, and his name is everywhere, and it's deserved. He deserves the attention. And yeah, just best wishes, man, and I hope things work out really well for you. Look after her and keep us surprised, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know where else to go with that.
Piggyback off of that, just show some love to Jingles. If you have him out on Facebook, just shoot him a message. Hey, man, think about you. Hope everything's going good. And it would really brighten the day of someone that needs it, and someone that's brightened like all of our days here on this screen and a lot of you in chat.
100%. 100%.
He's one of those people, like, I'm not too social, and I don't like to get out there and talk too much often. Like, you can ask these guys, like, we talk maybe once or twice a week on the group chats and stuff. It's just not what we do, but, like, what I am. But Jangles will hit me up, even if it's begrudgingly, like, 5 times a week. Hey, man, hope you're doing good. Everything's going great, And those are the people we need to watch over, because those are the people that we need more of.
Yeah. Absolutely. Handy P.
100%.
Handy P.
Handy P. Yeah. Yeah, it was just that all started. I was thinking about something that happened with me last week. Again, to be selfish, I contacted a friend because I wanted to find out some information, and then that friend took it upon himself to screen grab my stuff and send it to the actual direct person. And then I started a correspondence with the third party and the actual person that was involving, and I was just like, this is unbelievable. Like, if you tried to do that in the other industries I've worked in, that people are so protective of their IP and so protective of relations and all that sort of stuff. It becomes hang on a second. There are so many people in this industry community /community enablers. So it's incredible. It constantly blows me away, even with all the shit that we face. Yeah.
I got a message this morning. I won't mention who. A message from someone in the vape industry, and they reached out to me, and what had happened was they'd reached out to another reviewer to say, hey, would you like to review our stuff? And the person said, yes, absolutely, by the way, go check out Legion. So boom, it was passed over to me, which is just it's a tiny thing, but it's how our industry works. This person wasn't looking at keeping it all to themselves or being proprietary and holding it in, I'll get everything and I'll have more reviews and better reviews. It was more about, spread it and share it. And this is something I see all the time. Same exactly as you were saying. You reach out to someone and they contact the next person over. The other thing is no other thing. Whatever was there, it fell into the old man hole in the back of my head and disappeared. More vapes.
Yeah, they break everybody. Dear. Also, big shout out to Mr. Vandal. My computer has absolutely died in the arse proper, and it won't allow me to do anything. And I've put the pressure on Mr. Vandal, so publicly I'm thanking Vandal for coming by Clutch, helping us sort out this stream so we can be here with you all, and putting him into the pressure of work. And as you can see by his face, he hasn't.
I click 3 things on my computer and I sit here.
Yeah. So big love to you, Vandal, and I'm sorry, bro.
No, it's all good. Bro. That's the whole thing. Is I'm thinking back about it. Like, we've been doing this for almost like a couple years now, and when we first started doing it, like, it's fun. Like, I think it's like the rite of passage of being on the Amigos channel is that we all have to have some kind of problem go wrong with something that we're gonna have to do on a live broadcast. Like, there's no doubt about it. Every single one of us have some kind of issue at one point with this, and I think it's like it's our rite of passage. It's our endearing season, to go do it. But it's the fact is like, regardless, we still like are able to provide stuff people want to see, and like people want to see us. So you guys love the potatoes too. It's the joke. Like every time Great Wombatsky comes in, he says something. Like today, he said it in Spanish, and Steve had to translate it. And he's like, what's up, baked potatoes? So it's fun. I'd rather do this than like come on here and be super boring and wear a Kingle hat.
Yeah. the things that get put on people's plates now, these days in this current environment, it's just like, oh, okay, another thing, cool. How am I going to adapt to this? Yeah, it's.
Quick shout out to Mozzie in the chat. Said his lady, I believe, was in a car accident, but says she's doing good. So hopefully all that goes well for him. Rip in peace to his car.
Whoa, yeah, that's the important thing. She's okay.
Yeah.
Hitting a pole. I only have a recollection of having a car crash when I was very, very young. It wasn't even that bad a crash, but I went flying in the car, and it's been a lifelong fear of driving for me since that moment. So car crashes are heavy.
I don't drive a car because of car crash.
Is that the only car crash you've been in?
I've been hit by cars, but that was, I guess that was by choice when I was riding BMX, bro. But yeah, actually being in a car crash is, it's a mental thing that I haven't been able to get over. Yeah, big time.
What about you, Chris?
Oh, I don't drive. I don't have a driver's license. I got a car accident when I was younger. It was terrible. Only time I ever drove is because when I was in the military, I had to. But usually if you're in a Humvee, the people get the fuck out of your way. So, like, that's alright. But I hate driving. And I forgot what your question was. I'm sorry.
I was in a prang when I was 16. I was in the passenger seat in the back. And we crushed the front end of the car. Gone. Thrown forward. But this is back in the 80s. We didn't do anything about it. It was just like, okay, car's written off. And we get the bus home. And I kind of suspect that my back issues have a little bit to do with that. And then in my 20s, I was riding a bike. This is kind of similar to Adam here. I was riding a bike, but a mountain bike, not a BMX, because I'm not a kid. I was going down the hill, and I was doing the stupid thing that you do when you're not paying attention. I was on the sidewalk, and I was going down the hill, and houses to the right, and I passed a very large hedge, which led directly into a driveway, and a minivan came out.
Ugh.
And we just went boom, and I'm not kidding, I went good 35 feet in the air with the bike still between my legs before we separated, and then I landed on one finger, and I popped every single joint on there, and then face planted. Yeah, it looked like a corkscrew. Actually, it was this hand. It looked like a corkscrew.
Fuck that.
Each one was like 45 degrees around. And so I nice afternoon in the hospital. Nothing too bad. They popped it all back into place and a couple stitches in the face. But yeah.
If we're going to talk about accidents, though, the one time I owned a motorcycle was the last time I owned a motorcycle. So I got back from basic training from the Army and all that shit. And I wasted all my money, I got a pretty good bonus. Anyways, I bought this motorcycle off of Craigslist. It was a Ninja 900, and I was like 130 pounds, so it was like 2 tons too heavy for me as it was, So, but anyways, I was trying to act all cool. So I drive out to Pahrump, and this was back when I was trying to like skis on this chick that I went to high school with at one point, and I was visiting friends, and then she was like, "Oh, you got a motorcycle? You should drive it over." I was like, "All right," like totally cool. So I went over to her house, and it was the weirdest thing ever. Instead of it being like a date thing, like I ended up eating dinner with her grandparents, and her ex-boyfriend for some reason. So it was really weird. But I went over there in like slippers, socks, and like shorts and a tank top, because I was trying to look all cool on a motorcycle, I was like, all right. Well, anyways, I was driving back home, and I was going about like 45, and I turned around the corner, and I was doing that thing where you look off to the side and start to veer, like an idiot. And so I was going pretty fast, and then as soon as I looked forward, there was a fucking rabbit, and I didn't have any time to stop, and it wrapped up in my front wheel, and I slid on my hands and feet for like 15 hands and face for like 15 feet. And then I get up real fast and run over because like it landed all sideways and the horn's going off, right? So it's like, meh. So I run over there and I pick it up. I'm like, oh, adrenaline's all pumping. And then like there's blood all over the front of it. I'm like, what's this blood from? And then I look down at my hands, and my hands were skinned completely. And then right here with this one right here, you see this scar, like that scar right there. It comes out on this side because there was a fucking mesquite tree branch right there sticking through. After I landed, and then as soon as I saw that, I was like, oh, I'm gonna die, and I instantly like almost fainted. I was like, ugh, and I fell down to the ground, and I was like an idiot. I pulled the branch out, and then like I started bleeding everywhere. So I was like, what the fuck? I tried putting it back in, like I was just being stupid. And so I'm sitting there, and I'm like, and like my friend that I was out there with, she had like a truck, a Nissan Frontier or whatever, Xterra, whatever they were. And I was like, you need to come pick me up, blah, blah. And, like, picked me up. Went back to, like, her place. And, like, it's prompt. So it was a trailer park, like a little mini trailer park thing. And I'm just in her bathtub. And I'm just, like, fucking pour the fucking alcohol on it. And so, like, pouring the alcohol on it and everything. And it's just burning. And I didn't go to the doctor or nothing because, one, I was riding a motorcycle without a license. Two, I didn't have a motorcycle driver's license for the military. And I could have gotten in trouble for that. And three, I just scraped my fucking face and hands apart. So, like, I was on leave from the military for, like, a month, right? It was after all my training. So I just sat in my room back in Vegas after like, we finally got everything back. And I just sat there for, like, fucking 3 weeks like this. Just being miserable. Like, because I probably should have got stitches and stuff, but I didn't want to get in trouble, you know, with my unit and all that stuff. So I sat there and I learned my lesson and never rode a motorcycle again.
My question is that with a fucked up hand, or hands,
yeah,
how do you wipe your ass?
That was the hardest thing I ever had to do, and I'm not going to lie to you. I talk a lot of shit about bidets, but removable shower heads came in clutch that time.
Also, fapping.
Yeah. Oh, dude, that was the worst, and I'm not going to lie to you. I tried some stuff I shouldn't have, and it did not end well.
Has anything carried on into current day life? Yeah.
I didn't get my hand pregnant, if that's what you mean.
My motorcycle story, well, not quite motorcycle story, is when I was in my early 20s, I lived in a share house. We had about 4 or 5 people living there, all punk rock people living in the inner city in Sydney. And my roommate came home and she just bought a brand new moped for work, etc. And it was, you know, just a little tiny moped. And she pulls up, she's all proud of it. We all come out and look. I'm like, can I go for a spin? She's like, yeah, absolutely. She throws me the helmet, gives me the keys, and I go for a spin. Keep in mind, I have no license. I've never driven a moped, a car. I've never driven a motorbike. I've never driven anything motorized at this point. And so I put the helmet on and I go for a spin. And we lived, like I said, right in the downtown center core of Sydney, just Ultimo, if you've been there, Ultimo. And I drove to Drummoyne, which is a fair way when you've never driven before with no license. And it was about 3:30 p.m., so we were talking about afternoon traffic. Went to my friend's house, parked outside, showed him the thing, said, it's not mine, it's hers, whatever. Drove back, got a few beeps, must have done something wrong coming over the bridge on the way back, but I have no idea, not how I did that, but how I had the fucking confidence to just drive, just get on and just go in busy traffic. I've never driven before, never done this. Don't know what I'm doing. I don't even know how to use it. I'm just figuring it out. There's no accident in this. It's just, I'm amazed there's no accident in this story.
Yeah. It's like when you're driving and, like, you're in a car and, like, obviously I'm not behind the driver's wheel, but I can, like, imagine. You go through, like, what, 1 million stoplights in traffic, and then you realize, like, I just went through these stoplights and I don't remember what just happened. Like, how did I get so lucky, you know? It's like, you're cognizant, but you don't remember it, you know? But yes. That and the fact of, like, it's kind of, your story kind of reminds me of, like, when people, like, I don't know about where you guys are at, but, like, at the lakes out here or something like that, they'd put, like, their kid behind the wheel and let them drive, like, around, like, you know, to back up to, like, the water or something. Then the next thing you know, the kid's going 45 into the pier.
That was a big thing where I was growing up. I grew up in a country town, and, you know, drink driving was very normal, and, you know, in the late 70s and all that sort of situation, and, yeah, people were constantly doing ridiculous antics in cars, and
yeah. When I went to high school, I mean, it was an unusual Monday morning if there weren't skid marks all around the car park. It was like donuts here and donuts there and donuts everywhere, because that's what you do on a Saturday. You drive to school and do donuts.
At the place you didn't want to be.
I'm gonna fuck up your parking lot.
Smoke a cigarette. Yeah.
No. You got your friend in the seat holding the bong while you're doing donuts.
No.
Did Steve just bring up a bong?
Speaking of bongs, speaking of bongs, I saw a film clip last night of a band that I cannot remember the name of, and the entire film clip is 2 members, or maybe it is a duo, I don't know. The 2 members go back to back to back for the entire song. They're just getting handed the apparatus and then handed the second apparatus as the other one's being refilled, as we'll call it. And I thought that was quite the effort. I was like, how do you do that? How do you do that? Out of control. Yeah, very funny. Very funny.
It's a week-long video shoot. Takes 2 days to set it up. 3 minutes to film it. 5 more days to recover.
Yeah.
I'm so bagged.
That's what it's like working with models in the vape industry.
What? Crazy.
I thought you were going to say models in the porn industry.
Oh, no, man. They know what they're doing. They've been doing it since their uncle met them, so it's all right.
You do realize, we're in a transitional phase in our world. I mean, we've gone through this. We had, you had paper, you bought magazines, and we moved to video, and then it moved to online video. The porn industry is almost dead. It's almost gone because it's all crowdsourced now. It's all OnlyFans. It's your neighbors and your aunties and your uncles and your cousin. It's weird. I don't know why I brought that up.
It's fair, Bill, because that's really what's going on right now. And, I'm not, happy you brought it up, but I'm noticing it, too. And the thing is, I don't know about you guys, but, I follow some of these, influencer people and stuff like that used to do, these campaigns for these companies. But since, there's no shows, there's no, CESs, there's no, conventions or anything, a lot of them have turned into that, to do stuff like that. And it's a lot of average people. I think it was the New York Post exposed this nurse that was trying to get her way through life and pay her student debt by being a nurse but also selling adult content. And it's that's the nature of things, that this chick went and did the college and did this thing that you've been sold on the stream that this is going to satisfy your whole life's career thing, but you still have to go out and do things like this to survive, and then you're going to be picked on by society around you.
Yeah. See, that's what I think, that this transition, I think last year is a big part of that because of everything that's happened. But if you go back, say, 4 or 5 years, if some girl was doing porn, the world had a general view of her that was very, very negative, and she would maybe keep things close. You use a fake name. You don't let your family and friends know. 2 years ago, you're looking at maybe that becoming more, okay, I'm a sex worker and I'm proud. I let my family know. Yeah, it's not my real name. I keep my life separate, but I do porn. And we've moved to this position now where it's nurses and teachers and housewives and the girl at the corner store. They've all got OnlyFans, and as everything happens, OnlyFans is the name that we know, but there will be more other venues for them. It's no longer, oh yeah, so you do that. That's weird. Now it's just yeah, you do that. Everyone does that. That's a thing. It's you've got bits and you show them and people throw you money.
Yeah. And that's the thing of
days.
A lot of people I won't I'm not trying to throw this at a certain group or anything, but a lot of people say make your money and do your thing and get your stuff. A lot of people believe in the world, if there's opportunity to seize, then seize it. That's exactly what these people are doing. People want to give you the money for doing that. I mean, not in the same context of getting by, but there's this chick that does that stuff, and she sold her bath water, and am I thinking that that's cool? No, but if someone's willing to buy Chris Vandal's dirty socks, you think for goddamn 1 second I'm gonna resist? Maybe it'll be weird, but I don't want to know who you are. Just give me your address and your credit card number, and I'll send you my socks. Fuck it, take advantage of the opportunity you have.
If I was 30 years younger and in the shape I was then, hell yeah, absolutely, 100%, no denying it. I would be whoring myself like crazy.
Yeah.
Have little. You can buy me a mini fridge, and you can buy me an Xbox, and if you want to,
yeah.
Or you can just pay by the hour or the 15-minute, whatever the shows cost.
I just want to.
I'd totally be down with it.
I'd like to point out the contrast, the people that would not to get all philosophical here and stuff, that will slave away their jobs for $10 an hour, beating themselves to death for 12 to 13 hours a day, and then come home and get mad at someone else that found a better way to do it, and you're paying for it, and then complaining about it later.
I have a question, because I've never looked at OnlyFans. I mean, I make jokes about it, thinking that I actually know about it when I really don't. Is it full adult content? Is it nudity? What are
it
the
depends.
guidelines?
So the OnlyFans provides a platform for someone to provide what they want to provide. There are people on that platform that just do cooking shows in underwear. There's chicks that that just show off in bikinis. There's chicks that go full on out and stick computer screens up their butt. It is what it is, and it's not just chicks. I say chicks just because it's the common thing, but everyone's on there. You can find anything, and I'm not gonna lie to people and say I'm not curious and haven't checked it out, because of course you see someone famous that you're oh, you'd be hot naked. I'm gonna click that link, see if it's free.
Yeah,
and it never is.
No.
It never is.
So, my bigger question is, with situations happening of accounts being taken off people on social media and stuff. how do they get around guidelines for that if there's, is that not as, sorry, I'm answering my own question, is that not as important as inciting terrorism on a guideline?
The thing is like the platform and that we should talk about this a little bit just in case there's anyone out there that's confused. Platforms can dictate the way that their platforms are run regardless of how it is. On Facebook and stuff like that, you're thinking that's your Walmart of social media, so it's made to cater to everyone, so their stuff's a little bit more stringent. Twitter is also to the masses of more people and its reach and more instantly, so they're more stringent on stuff. So to compare two different sites like that would be a really big, like, it's apples and oranges, because OnlyFans is made for explicit content directly. Now, I really doubt that there's people going on there inciting anything, any negative aspects. Like, I'm not going to go on OnlyFans to go figure out, where the next rally for something is. I'd rather look at somebody's boobs. But, it's...
I doubt anyone's paying to get access to videos to hear someone rant about politics.
Yeah,
unless they're ranting about politics in the nude. But I think the big difference, what you were talking about, traditional social media versus that, and I think the business model also makes a big difference. Facebook, Twitter, and of course YouTube are all beholden to the advertising dollars. So, they've got to not alienate those that will give them money, whereas OnlyFans takes a cut off the top of what is donated to their content providers. So it's a whole different thing.
There's no ads on there.
And also there's no alienating people. If there's a chick drinking her own piss, that's not going to alienate people that are against that, because they don't get through that door unless they
find
specifically go looking for that and they pay for that. So
it's not like a website, like a Facebook or like a social media. It's not really a social media platform. It's more of a business platform. Sure, you're social on there, but you're selling your brand and directly to the people. You can't scroll through like a feed. Like, you can't, or anything like that. You can scroll through a feed of, content creators you follow, but it's not like Facebook where it's like, oh, do you want to see this guy pour ketchup into a computer that costs $10,000? It doesn't do stuff like that.
No, it's more like Patreon.
Yeah.
It's set up like Patreon, but with a back end that actually gives you access to streaming and sharing content.
Yeah. This was also inspired, I guess, a little bit by, I learnt of... a content creator on YouTube who has kind of stepped away from YouTube and is using another platform, and it's exploding for this person. And I was thinking to myself, okay, well it's TikTok, So TikTok, to me, I understand Parler and the other ones that were they were not great to start with first. So you've got all that going on, and whatever the capabilities of that platform is. But then the reality of something as debatable, but how dangerous / harmless vaping is, and then something like TikTok, which is, I thought, teenagers platform versus someone actually creating content and reviews and things on TikTok. So it's like, okay, well, if you're doing that, that's now commentary, right, or social commentary, versus whatever else you would put that subject of TikTok videos in.
Yeah, sorry.
I've been doing some content, video and graphic, like photos and stuff, for a client outside of my channel, and they mentioned that they're using TikTok for a lot of their stuff, and so they're not in the vaping world. Well, they are, but it's side business is not in the vaping world, and their product it's not what you would expect, and it took me a while. It seems a little bit weird, limited to 15 seconds and all that sort of stuff, to be going to TikTok. But TikTok, I think, is probably in a transitional phase, because most things teens get their hands on and it becomes very, very hyped and very, very...
who's at work all day and who's not. Teenagers are not at work all day.
But eventually, if you get a mass of teens somewhere, you're going to get marketers wanting to capitalize on that. And the moment they come through the door, people start exiting the other side. And it'll eventually evolve to something else. There's a lot of history of things like a Periscope. Used to be very, very... I can't
Periscope was like the precursor to TikTok. It was a video service, but instead of doing clips, you would go live. And the reason why TikTok can be very successful if you have the time to put into it is because their algorithms are so open-ended that when you, remember back in the day, about 3 years ago, you post, vape hashtags and you probably pop, 400 or 500, likes, and, your social footprint was a lot bigger. That's exactly how TikTok's algorithm runs, and that's why, there are people out there that create content that, this is gonna sound like negative and stuff, but this lady's like 80 years old dancing and stuff, and I think it's weird. I don't like it. I mean, you probably would think like, it's weird to watch it. It's not even like good. It's like cringy. But like she has like 4 million people following her because of the algorithm works like that, and like it doesn't hamper your spreading your footprint at all, or how you can spread through it. So it's very easy to go viral on there. Just like in my idea as far as social media should be run, how it should be, because it's the free expression of stuff. Of like it's not harmful. As long as it's not harmful content, then why not let it spread as far as it can go? And that's why TikTok has been so successful for stuff. Instead, you have things like Instagram and stuff like that. That like on TikTok you're not advertising. On TikTok you're a user using TikTok to advertise, and they don't take as much heat I think personally to their brand like Instagram does. When you do vaping, then Instagram thinks, oh well, then that means that we like vaping, we're promoting it. When TikTok's like, this person on our platform's promoting it and we're taking nothing into it, you know what I mean? Which is kind of crazy to me too. And maybe this is like too tinfoil hat time, that this is a Chinese ran company that has the most open like social media frontier.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I kind of wish Instagram would take the same tactic, as in we provide a platform, and what they do is what they do.
Yeah.
It's not us. I mean, that hands-off approach would be much more preferable.
Yeah.
And not just Instagram, across the board. Like, I wish YouTube would do that.
Yeah. I gotta tell you, I watched, like, accidentally clicked on, like, a video of a guy opening a jar, and now my YouTube feed's filled with people doing redundant tasks, like, all the time. And, like, their algorithm is so terrible. It's like you mix it up once, and it's like you're listening to, like, a playlist on, like, your Spotify or Apple Music, and you're like, oh, I want to maybe listen to one Billy Joel song. Then next thing you know, it's all 1940s pop that's popping up on your radio.
Take it out of your history.
I know, that's what I need to do. It was terrible, though. It's so stupid. I accidentally clicked it while I was, like, had my phone out, and it's like, now I got, like this morning I pulled it up, and it was a guy, like, this is how you light a match. And it was, like, 45 seconds. He's like, thank you for watching YouTube. Make sure you like and subscribe. And I was like, what the fuck?
With 400,000
Yeah,
views.
because of the fucking algorithm being so stupid,
Yeah. Well, there's no doubt that the guidelines of, those bigger platforms, YouTubes and Facebook and all that sort of thing, those guidelines are set up to protect them, so that no one can come around and get them. And it's like, okay, but you're not even acting on the proper things that are dangerous.
Yeah. You can't share a picture of, like, as much as I don't think they're that great, your hand check on Instagram and get views, but I tell you what, you go on any popular pages post on Instagram, you see 400 bot porn saying, I need something long and hard with a weird emoji at the end.
Yeah. My wifey, back in the day, it was a personal conversation, I guess, or it was a conversation between a few of us on Facebook. We had been, tagging each other, and then a picture of poo was posted, and what a mission to get her account back, because effectively she got put in Facebook jail. But this is before like the timed Facebook jails, and it was like this ginormous effort to try and get back an account that people have Facebook accounts for 10 years now. So it's like, what? Okay, you've got that, but then I can post a photo of someone being violent in the streets and all that sort of thing, and no one's going to say anything because
It's really ass backwards, and for like one of the biggest social media companies, there's no way that you can contact a person directly for help at Facebook at all. Even if you run a business page, if you run a personal page, any of that stuff, you get zero human interaction, and this is one of the most profitable companies that is across the world.
Yeah. Where the government steps in.
Yeah.
And does nothing.
Yeah.
We're stepping in, but we can't do anything because we want your money. Yeah. And your votes. We need your help to get votes.
Yeah. But yeah, social media, I think that we're at this point now where Facebook's hitting the MySpace generation, because it happened kind of the same way. MySpace was like, a cool place to share like music and your avenues of things you're interested in your lifestyle. And this is going to sound ageist, but then the old people got on, and then you see what you see now on Facebook. Everyone yelling at each other, everyone complaining, everyone spewing false information about like, not just like one specific subject, but about like literally everything in the fucking world. And it just gets so annoying that the cognitive people that use social media to network and do stuff are slowly moving away. And whether I like them or not, that's why apps like Parler and stuff were get thought to be more popular and stuff. Obviously, moderation and all that needs to change. But we're seeing like what's going to be the next step in it. I don't think TikTok's going to be like this big next grab all for everything, because it's hard to do stuff without a dashboard kind of setup. But I think that we're going to see something within the next couple of years that's going to come out and change it all. And then Facebook goes the way of MySpace almost. You know what I mean? Like loses its relevance. Because a lot of people started earlier before last year pulling a lot of money from it, like the investors and stuff. Well, not investors, but like companies and ads and stuff like that. And that's where you heard them. And like the thing is like when the users stop watching the ads, even so, if they do have small companies still giving them money for ads, or even big companies, the interaction is going to show that no one's there. And then that's when the next company comes in and makes the move.
Yeah, I just put it in chat, and even though it's very different to Facebook and all that sort of thing, I thought Marco Polo was outstanding. It would always give me laughs every day because people are wacky and they do things that I would never do. So Marco Polo, that gets my vote because it's non-offensive. You choose the people who you want to interact with as opposed to like I'm going to read a thread or the comment section and be absolutely freaking rage sweat. Yeah.
Robert in the chat, I want to point out, said maybe we should all go back to MySpace. Don't do it. I log in like once a year. Don't do it. It's
Who was in your top 8? Who was in your top 1,000?
Probably like all the girls I was talking to at the time.
Got a question here from Advocate for Liberty. He's asking what our favorite moment of 2021 is so far. And I'm looking at my little calendar there. It's the 19th, my friend. It's been a week and a half. In 2 weeks. I mean, I finished doing a little 3D animation this morning. I was pretty happy with that. I don't know what else to say. Went swimming yesterday. That was fun. I don't know. Not enough has happened to have a favorite moment yet. Guys?
Adam, you got anything?
Yeah, a bit of a weird answer. Again, the situation of people bettering themselves, from the learning of last year and all that sort of thing. And I don't know, I think it's been a discovery of people who are internally, have confronted some things and working themselves out and, like actually getting ahead and, growing, progressing as humans. But in the same vein, work, employment, money, all of those things are hard to get and achieve, and maybe that's just my circle of friends, but I'm seeing people grow as humans, and then we're all kind of falling off the cliff because of current environment. So which one is better? Do you want to have a job and have money and be miserable, or do you want to be rich as a human, but not have those material things or money to pay rent? It's a strange thing. I think I'm kind of going the situation of being a better human, but it doesn't pay the rent, So it does, yeah.
Universal basic income. That's what you need.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That way you can get your rent paid, your food in your fridge, and you can work on being better.
Yeah.
I'll have to say my favorite moment so far this year was right before the show when Legion took his shirt off on like the camera. I got to see Legion nips.
And you weren't ready to go live.
Hey, no. I was, but I didn't. I won't do that. I don't do the whole like secret grab thing, But yeah, and then I can't really say I've had like my favorite moment, but like, I'm like in the chat. What's his name said it? Great Wombatsky. I've woken up 19 days in a row so far, so it's my 19 favorites. I think it's going to be a slow start year, to get on anything crazy, but I did get the camera out, so, that's been fun. Got back into that, nice. And then this weekend I'm going to shoot some of the pictures for Dwayne of his salts and stuff, so, because I got real lazy last year, but,
That's good. Yeah. It's good to see you get back to it. It's been a while.
Yeah.
Oh.
I've been real
lazy. We bought one of these. It's a macro lens for your device.
Yeah.
So, look out, everyone! I'm going to post some really bad photos with a macro lens. Yes. Yes.
Hey, you can do some great stuff with that if you take your time.
Yeah.
And you edit a little carefully. You can do some good stuff. I've seen some awesome coil builders, and beautiful, beautiful shots. All those ones we were talking about on Sunday, and a lot of those people just using their phone. So why not?
Yeah.
Why not use that?
And the cool thing about if you start using your phone for stuff, I've seen people do it. You can get the clips that hold your phone up and stuff on things. And then so like when you're doing builds or whatever, or top-down shots, you have it basically on a tripod you can move anywhere. So I don't know if that's something you'd want to check out for like $10 on Amazon. and then you get some cool angles. You ain't got to hold it or nothing, you know. Because I don't know about you, but me personally, I shake a little bit, you know, from just like living life, and so that comes in handy. But like you can get some cool stuff with your phone. Like all my nature stuff mostly is off on my phone on Instagram and stuff. So.
Yeah. I studied the internet iPhone University of Photography, and it's coming along nicely. Coming along nicely. But cheers to everyone. Cheers again for the hanging out and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah. Actually, Chris makes a great point there. Get yourself a cheap little tripod and one of those clips. Make all the difference. Now you've got the little lens attachment, making sure that it's solid and stable and not moving around. And you can get hands-free, which means that you can see what you're doing and be adjusting things at the same time.
Yeah, I did the very smart thing in getting one of these, because my wife will use it as well for her stuff, and my camera has 3 lenses. So yeah, good job. Good job.
They have the ones that clip onto those ones though, like Delane's mom bought me one a couple years back for Christmas or whatever. I never really put it to use or anything, but like they have some fancy kits out there for your phone, and like some of the stuff comes out really good.
Yeah. Yes, indeed. I'll have to work out how to do that. But I'll have to use this camera. I'll be that old person with the iPad taking photos at the concert. Yeah,
that's my favorite whenever I go to.
Okay, speaking of old people, I want to ask you guys: does this drive you nuts? So you're downtown, you're walking around, and you see someone's on the phone, and they're walking along talking like this, and they're being really loud, and they're having a big conversation, and they're talking to their phone like this. Does that annoy you?
I don't understand why this is more comfortable than this.
Yeah,
I understand. I know a long conversation, your ear's going to get sweaty, but other than that, this is just stupid. Just walking around with it, it drives me nuts. I want to run up and smack it out of their hand.
It's funny you say that.
Technically, why are they doing that? Why are they doing that?
I don't know.
What's the benefit?
It's a thing that only I've noticed older people do. Older people only do it, and it's funny you say that because there's a commercial that started airing out here not too long ago in the States for an insurance company, and it's this guy's like, we can't stop you from becoming your parents, but we can help. And there's a guy is like following him around, the insurance agent, and he's like, all right, so now you're talking on the phone like this in the store out loud. Should we be doing this? He's like, no, who does that? Who's the only person who does that? He's like, my mom. Like. So it's like, it's funny, and that's the thing that like, why? And then like everyone can hear your conversation. I'm never talking about top secret nuclear codes, but I still feel like it's weird, like people can hear you, like on everything.
I always think it's weird too, in that it's backwards. You would think that old people would go, phone, it's a phone, I hold it like a phone. Young people would be like, it's a device, I'm just going to talk at it. But no, it's the other way around. It's weird. Then again, young people actually don't answer the phone, and I don't blame them. I don't like answering the phone, but it's weird.
Okay,
it's not because I'm old. I just don't like answering the phone.
So Mozzie's answered the question I was going to ask him. So his dad yells so loud that he's getting the phone away from his ear. Is that the only reason why you do that, talking to the bottom of your phone?
I like Advocate for Liberty's comment. We need to invent the beard phone. Just a little pickup here and a little earpiece there, and I'll be good.
Yeah, you just clip it onto your cheek.
Yeah.
And then when you hear the wind blow through Legion's beard, it's like a soft breeze through a subtle forest on a breezy day, you know.
When I travelled to another place a couple of years ago, people were doing that, talking into their phones a lot and not actually on the phone. And I was like, what is everybody doing? And it was a big thing out there for them. They don't text message. They
talk to text.
Send. Yeah. So, they're also sending audio. You know, so you're sending audio messages more often than you're standing there doing the text.
Well, I guess I can understand that because like we'll do it we do it in our chat sometimes and stuff like that, or when me and you text each other. But like, if you're gonna keep continually doing that, just have a phone call.
Yeah, I think sometimes if your thought is too big, and complex, and you just can't be bothered tapping away, it's just like just yell it into the phone and hit send. I want to change tactics here. I know that this thing that you can't really see, but that I use all the time, which has a little tiny bend at the end. I know that it really bothers Adam.
Mm-hmm.
It just drives him to distraction almost as much as people talking on their phone does with me. This is like a real pet peeve. And I have to say, you were on my mind the other day as I was picking up this and some new batteries. I got a new one, untouched, perfect, and pristine. So when I do video, I can throw that one away now. And now I've got a nice new one, and even better. For some reason, it's got a little Phillips head screw in the back.
Oh, no.
Well, how about that?
With a little cap. I've never seen that before. But
Crazy.
Completely unbent. So this one is for using with coils, and this one is used for prying things apart.
Yeah. For opening tins. And
I tell you, when I so I got the extension, right? And so I had to take off the old chimney, and because it sat there for a couple weeks, months, unused, I could not get it to move. Best tool ever. I have like 3 of these in different sizes, and I use them in vaping way more often than you would think. You ever take apart a sub-ohm tank and it's like a baby beast coil, and the coil stays inside the chimney and you can't get it out and it's all greasy? Nah.
No, you need these. A couple of pieces of these. Vapor's best friend.
Is that the stuff you put in your drawer in your kitchen?
Yeah.
I
What do
got a
you
whole
use it
roll of
for?
that through there, yeah.
What do you use that for?
Taking, AFC caps that are tight, or, no, I don't screw stuff down a lot, so, but it's for all of that sort of thing. Yeah, drip tips out, all that sort of blah, blah. Yeah.
Man, you guys got like some...
my knob is thoroughly focused right now. But he's asking where my knob focus thingy is, and I'm saying it's fully focused.
Fully focused.
To be honest, I didn't hook it up today. It requires power, so I didn't hook it up.
Advocate for Liberty also threw out there something about a GoPro beard cam view, and I threw out there, I was like, why would you want to look down at a beer belly all day? And he's like, well, now you've imagined it. His goal is done. I used to have a massive beer belly. Like, that's just normal. You look down, you're like, oh. I promise you, it's not a live feed anyone wants to see. Unless you want to see my OnlyFans, link in bio. Make sure to like and subscribe.
Click like and subscribe to daddy.com.
See, I was going to get into like beer belly, and you get the beer belly. When you look down, you can't actually see your knob. Maybe we need to develop some sort of camera system so that guys with beer bellies can see that. And then in my mind, this started going off on this tangent, like, well, that would be really useful for wiping your butt, making sure that it's really clean. And
but do you want to see if it's that clean from that angle,
Well, then I started thinking, like, why isn't that a thing? In our world, why isn't that a thing? Like butt cam, so that you can make sure that you're thoroughly wiped. Why hasn't that been made?
No, it should be marketed as bidet cam.
Yeah.
Action cam of the day from bidet.com. Like they have like a roller,
bidet.com.
It's like the ring.com website for people's front doors, but it's bidetcam.com, And it's like Jim had a solid today. Jessica had Starbucks. I was funny.
Wait. I just noticed something happening in the chat that's got me really excited. Wire Talk with Bill Chi.
Bill Cheese.
Bill Chi. I'm so sorry. Wire Talk with Big G. Talking about macro lenses. Who are you talking to there? I don't know who you're talking to, but you mentioned the Laowa. And if that's the one that I have been raving on for the last year, if you guys have seen it, because this ties into what we're saying. It's Laowa is a brand. They make really interesting lenses, and this one's called the Probe. And literally, it looks like it's this long. It is this thin. It looks like a baton. It looks like it's the diameter of a 22 mil mech mod, but twice as long. Really weird macro lens. It's macro, but wide angle. Really fucking cool and completely waterproof. So you can like dunk it in your butt, or you can dunk it into a glass of water, or whatever you want. Yeah, you can. Sorry, I just got excited when I saw a Wire Talk mention it, because that lens is like high.
Yeah.
Number one on my want list. It is so cool.
So I'm glad that we know now what Steve wants to do with this camera, because this is what brought it out. But it's funny because you're talking about, bigger guys needed to see their junk and stuff. And like on Friday we were talking about it, and Anthony always brings up that he's a big guy, and he was wondering how to see his junk. He said that too. And I was like, well, that's why they made reflective fucking scales for your bathroom. That's for bigger people to check under the hood when they can't see from the top.
Ah, check under the hood.
Yeah,
I see now. Yep. Oh dear. Yeah. Thank you for muting me, by the way.
Yeah.
That was my sound of awkwardness. Yep.
Where is it? I want to point it out real quick. Adam put out humangardencam.com.
I can play this game all day.
I threw in my idea would be like the two-way petting zoo,
Yeah.
What do you got? You got a weird name for a website, Steve? What would you call your website if it were up to weird content besides E-Bomb World or something?
Yeah. Sorry. Greg Wambatsky talking about the probe again. He wants to get probed. And Wire Talk saying, yeah, he wants it. He definitely wants it. He wants to be probed. I also want to be probed. I seriously. If anyone's got $2,000 to spare on one of those lenses,
Probe me.
Why don't you just get one of the ones from Wish? You got an Android phone, don't you? And they hook right into your USB drive?
no.
And it's a snake, And then you can play the Super Mario music at the same time because you're going in the pipes. Boop, boop, boop. Yep.
I read this story the other day about a guy that was a plumber, called out to a motel, and the toilet wasn't working, so he had to bring out the snake, and they start snaking the toilet, and it gets out there and just couldn't find anything. Eventually, the industrial snake, right? And it caught something, and it's so hard for them to bring it back. It was fighting all the way back, and it got stuck. And then apparently the people in the next room started screaming, and everyone ran through to the next room. And what it was the snake had come down and up the next door toilet. And someone had gone in there, and there's this robot claw flopping around the room.
And they tried to grab it?
Grabbed the shower curtain.
Oh my god.
And pulled the shower curtain down the drain. And so that's where it got stuck. It's like halfway through with like a shower curtain in between the two rooms. Pulling it out. But can you imagine being in a hotel room and just walking in and just seeing this arm floating around? Grabs the curtain, pulls it down.
And those things aren't no joke. They have a curved barbed wire at the end that grabbed like toilet paper or whatever's clogging it. Like if that would have hit your butt, man, you would have been like, pooping out pancakes.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Scary.
I know it happens a lot in you guys down there because you guys have all the creatures and stuff, but a lot of snakes and toilets over there, yeah? Like real snakes?
I've never seen it. We always talk about it, but I've never seen that. Yeah. Ever. Yeah.
There's a road trip we take from here to Brisbane, and on the highway, at the side there's a little rest stop, and they've got the toilets, and they're pit toilets, which means it's a big fucking hole in the ground that you shit in there, and apparently it just builds up, and eventually they'll just move the rest stop and leave the shit there. But there's big signs all the way around it saying "Watch for snakes," and for the longest time it was in my mind that I was trying to figure out, what is wrong with these snakes? Like they're crawling around in nature, and they see a pit toilet, and they go, "Oh, I'm gonna go dive in the shit and attack people." I honestly thought that's what they were doing, but someone clarified that no, there's just snakes in the area. They're not actually in the toilet, because all the signs are leading up to the toilet. As you walk towards it, it's like, watch out for snakes, beware of snakes, etc. I'm like, why are there snakes swimming in shit? Is this something they like to do? But apparently, yeah. It was just, my mind is wrong.
I've only seen it when I was in the military on the East Coast, and I was in Aberdeen, Maryland, and we got in the field, they call it. It's basically like field days for when you're in school. You go to training, and you do field exercises and shit. And they have trailer looking built stuff from World War II still out there, and they have old toilet septic tanks and stuff. And one guy was in there, he's taking a crap, and he comes running out screaming with this junk in his hands and his ass out, And we go in there, there's just a snake sitting in there just fucking sticking its tongue out, with a chunk of poop on its head. So it was funny. That was the only time I've ever seen it.
I've never seen a snake in the toilet. I have seen them outside, of course. It's Australia, you're going to see snakes. We did have one. Actually, we had two. We had a python that came in on the back patio for a while, hung out, went away. That was fine. But one day, and this is like only 3 years ago. This is after I started doing the channel, and so I had shelves behind me, different shelves, but shelves behind me. It was on the other side of the room, and I hear a sound, and I turn around, and there's a python on my snake, or on my snake, on my shelves, going from one to the other, and I screamed, "Snake!" Not because, oh, it's going to bite me, but because it's going along next to my mods, and they're all on the edge of the shelf, and all my bottles are there. I'm like, it's going to break everything. It's going to knock everything off. I thought it'd be like a cat, like, fuck you.
Yeah, nah.
But no, it just hung up there, and we had to get a guy in to bring him out. But I'll never live it down. In the house, the story is that I panicked and went, snake, whereas it was honestly just a little bit of that and more. My stuff.
Little bit of squeal. Little
bit of a squeal.
Yeah.
Luckily,
a bit of a surprise when you turn around though, and there's like, I think it was about 3 feet python behind you. It's like, what the hell are you doing? How did you get in? Where's the hole? The doors are all closed. How did you get in the house?
Maybe Pamela Anderson from 1993 was visiting you with Tommy Lee, and it was a surprise. She always had the snake on her back then.
Yeah. Came through your toilet.
Yeah. That's the only way I can imagine them making an entrance anyway. Anyways, no.
Yeah.
Mozzie says in his outside toilet he gets frogs and snakes, I think. Out there. Mozzie's fancy enough to have an outside toilet as well as an inside toilet.
Yeah. Al fresco.
Yeah.
Yeah, fresco dining.
Thing is, Australia's got so much wildlife that's around there, and it's hidden. It's like we have wallabies. Apparently, this area is just crawling with wallabies. And if I drive like 10 minutes down the road, there's a cul-de-sac, and if you go there in the morning, they're all there. The rest of the day, never see them. We live in a koala area. Like there's koala crossing sections on every highway around here. Never see them. I never run into them. They're here, but they're all fucking hiding. Australian wildlife is sneaky, is what I'm saying. You have to watch out for them. They're hiding.
Mm-hmm.
The most we get around here are Mormons on Sundays and spiders.
both things that you want to look out for.
Yeah, I actually got lucky enough, like this neighborhood that we're living in now, it's a gated community, so we don't really get the solicitors too much. I had a guy come in the other day trying to sell me an alarm system, and he kept being persistent. I was like, I'm not interested, and I tried to go on my door. He's like, you sure I could give you some paperwork? I was like, we have a fucking gate for a reason, and I've never been able to say that. And I was like, I've made it in life. I have a house with a gate outside, so.
Yeah.
But yeah, we get a lot of spiders around here, because there's not too much desert wildlife that's going on, because it's pretty built up around Vegas as it is, unless you're on the edges. But a lot of spiders everywhere, and the desert wolf spiders and stuff like that are the little tiny ones. Or mostly we get these big ones, and we had this one. It was this big, and we watch it when we leave the house. It started on the other end of the house, and it slowly in over a week moves and moves and moves, and so now it's right by the front door. So I might have to throw them away, but I try not to mess with them because they eat all the bugs.
Yeah. Every now and then I post a picture because this is Australia, spiders. Half my patrons are from North America, so I know spiders freak them out. So I'll show a picture of, I call them Frank. They're all named Frank, but we have huntsmen, which are about yay big in our house, and they just kind of hang out. They don't do much. If you tap on the wall near them, they'll scurry up to the corner. I try to leave them alone. They eat the bugs, but they're pretty. They're elegant. I like spiders.
Yeah. They say, I'm no scientist, but they say if you kill a spider, you're just making their flock stronger because you're killing the ones that were dumb enough to be seen. So pretty soon we're just going to have super spiders. We're going to be fighting them like in the Terminator movies. Instead of being robots, it's going to be spiders. And we're going to have to go back in time to that one time that Steve let that spider live that took over the world and made Skynet. Get it? Because it's a net, but it's a web. I don't know. I'm done.
What I can't figure out is spiders, they'll lay their eggs and they hatch, and you get these little tiny ones. They're absolutely tiny. And like I said, pinpoint, huntsmen. They come out a pinpoint and they grow to be yay big. And so here's the weird thing. That happened in the roof in my wife's office area. and we could tell it was in the roof because they came out of the light socket, and they're little tiny dots just spilling out. There are lots of them, hundreds of these little tiny things, and we're good with the spiders. Like, okay, as long as you're not on me, that's cool. And they just kind of went away. And then, a couple months pass, and I see 3 big spiders. I'm like, where did the rest go? Where are they? Why aren't there where are they? Where did they all go? Did they get big enough and get kicked out by the parents? Did they go to uni?
Eaten. They got eaten.
I don't want to think of that. I like the spiders.
Yeah.
I was thinking you were going to say that they all got on the backs of the big ones and were like riding around ready to like
What really bothers me in Australia?
I've seen that episode of The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
What really, really bothers me in Australia? Everyone's scared.
Did we lose Steve?
Steve.
Okay, there we go.
Cockroaches. Australian cockroaches. In the bush. They are this big. And they are brown as fuck. And the fuckers fly.
Yep.
And every now and then, they'll get into your room, and you'll be in bed reading. So the only light in the room is your phone, and they'll decide they want to hang out with you. And so it'll be on your leg, and you kick, fuck. Turn on the lights, find it, kill it. And it run around, you can't get it, it goes, fuck it, I'm going back to bed. Boom! Oh, what the fuck? Like for an hour. It just keeps coming back to you, and I don't know what it is. Is my sweat that tasty? I don't know. They keep coming back to you, and they fucking fly. I despise them with a vengeance. If it was up to me, the glue traps all over the corners of the room. But of course, the wife won't let me because glue traps will hurt the spiders.
Shannon has asked, "What's a drop bear?" And that's a drop bear.
A koala on crack, it looks like.
Yep, they're vicious. They're carnivores. They will eat anything. Motor parts. Yeah, they're vicious. Drop bears. Got to watch out for them because they drop out of trees. Yeah.
That's weird. That looks like an American Karen.
They're very, very fond of tourists.
Mm-hmm.
Somehow they can smell the difference between locals and tourists, and they go straight for them. I don't know what it is, but yeah, deadly things.
Yeah.
It's like what they do that in India with the little monkeys too. Like they beat up the tourists and take their purses and all that stuff. And like I've seen like the video. I've never seen the videos of koalas fucking anybody up, but I've seen the videos of like the monkeys that converging on like a whole square of like tourists, just like messing everybody up, punching them and kicking them over and taking their purses, and all that stuff. And so I imagine it's probably got to be like that, but with more teeth.
Mm-hmm.
Lots more
you lose
teeth.
an arm. Yeah. Lose an arm as well. Welcome to Australia.
I actually saw some footage the other day. It was a Scottish news reporter visiting down here, and she'd gone out to a wildlife farm. There were little wallabies and all that stuff, and they introduced her to a not domesticated but a captured drop bear. And yeah, the amount of time that it took, they had her up with like riot gear and a helmet and gloves and everything to handle this drop bear. Full precautions.
Welcome to the vape show where we rarely talk about vaping, talking about life and drop bears and bidet.com.
Yes.
We're coming up to the time, gentle folk. Some last words. What's coming up this week, if anything, and should we close it out soon?
Yeah, let's close it out. Steve, you want to go first?
What's coming up? Normal stuff. I got a couple of reviews to finish. I filmed 2 yesterday, day before. I'm not happy with them, so I'm going to redo them, which is a pain in the butt, but, quality matters. Mm-hmm. We've got coffee with me tomorrow morning, as usual, where we'll talk more about drop bears and butt cams and who knows, whatever people bring up, that's what we'll talk about. Sunday, of course, the Aussie Vape Show. Adam, do we have a guest this week?
There has been no word at the present moment.
No word?
Yep.
If we don't, we will probably talk more about butt cams. We'll find a way to spread it across the week. Other than that, yeah, just same old stuff. What about you, Chris? What are you up to this week?
I just want to say, like, I noticed the golden gem, the hidden gem in there, spread it across their week about butt cams. Like, I don't know if you did that intentionally, but it was smooth.
Smooth, not chunky.
I don't know. I'm a fan of the texture. So Wednesday I'll have another gaming with Xbox and Chill session on this channel here. We're gonna do part 3 of the New Vegas Playout. We had quite a few people turn out last time, and basically it's me playing a video game that I've invested way too much time in. That's 10 years old, but it's really interesting. So I'm sharing that with everybody. Doing a playthrough. Friday Fallout with Anthony Ramella, Cody, and Glenn Hefner. Other than that, yeah, that's it for me. And maybe like some pictures coming later this week of some of the Dwayne Saltnicks. But yeah, that's it.
Nice. I have no news. I'm just working this week, but we'll see everyone on Sunday evening for the Australian Vape Show. But we want to send you all a massive best energies and all of that stuff for the week. See you online. I'm sure the Intergoogle is a smaller and smaller place now, and we'll see everyone in the normal spots, same time, same everything.
Watch out for toilet snakes. Watch out for drop bears.
Yep. All of the above. Thanks, everyone. Big love. Big love, Steve. Big love, Chris. And big love to all of you at home. Have a nice day.
Yeah.